Thanks for tuning into the channel. So today we're going to be talking about the car market, what's going on. For those of you that are thinking about getting a car, right? This is really good information, or you just want to know what's going on with the car market. Also, stay tuned because I am going to share my screen. We're going to go on Auto Trader. We're going to see some cars. So we got a lot of things that we're going to be doing in this video. Also, for those of you that may be thinking about sharing your car on the platform Toro, I am a host on Toro, and I put a link in the description letting you know like the lockbox and no smoking stickers I use. It's on there. So if you want to check it out, go ahead. But now let's get back to it. So the car market, right? If you want to buy a car and put it on Toro, for example, or you got to upgrade your car because it's breaking down on you, or you just, want a car, or maybe you can hold on, right? You don't need a car. You're kind of thinking about it and you're thinking, should you wait? Should you not? It really all depends. Are you going to get brand new or are you going to get used? Because there's pros and cons to both sides. And that's really going to depend on you. I am going to read an article that I found that I felt that's really point on. And it's by the Cox Automotive. Expects U.S. sales growth to slow during the second half of the year. That's what we're in, right? And the first half of the year, 2024, car sales are doing pretty good, but that's over with right now at the moment, and the economy is actually changing. There's been a lot of changes. If you haven't kept up with it, you can go on the internet, or if you watch the news, you're going to start hearing about it if you're not up to date on it. And that helps when if you're in a situation where you can buy, it's a good thing, because now some people say, no, it's a bad thing. It depends, of course, in the situation the person's in. But when people are buying, the economy's booming, that's usually not the best time to buy something, because why? Right? Companies are not having a difficult time selling. And usually when they're not having a difficult time selling, they may not be showing the best customer service. They may not be trying their best to sell you the car. When sales are down, they're more desperate. So if you are in a situation where you can buy, you're more likely to get better customer service and a better deal. Now, of course, you need to check if the economy's going down and you fall in the category where you're losing your job and things like that, well, then it wouldn't be the best time for you. But if you're not in that situation, and you're in a situation where you feel that you're safe, even with a downturn in the economy, and some of you may be thinking, well, how could someone be safe in a downturn? There are jobs that are recession resistant, that if there was a recession, like a teacher, a nurse, there's jobs that don't get as affected as others. So it just depends what you do, right? I don't know what you do. So this could be an opportunity for you. It may not. But here we go. So for CNBC.com, U.S. auto sales through the first half of the year are expected to be up. That's what they expected, about 2.9% compared to a year ago. But there are concerns that the auto industry may not be able to continue that momentum through the year. And vehicle inventory levels are going up, right? It is. If I pass by a lot of car dealerships with my commute to work and things, and I've seen the difference. I mean, car dealerships are just full of cars. Now, don't get me wrong. Before COVID, that was normal. You go to a car dealership and they just had a ton of inventory. And then COVID came and that changed. There was, we had inventory problems, and that really increased prices because there was high demand, low inventory, and prices were through the roof. They're doing markups and all these things. And now that's going away because inventory's back, the demand's not as high, and now they're starting to do incentives and things like that. So vehicle inventory levels are growing, incentives are increasing. They're increasing, especially on brand new vehicles. So they're definitely increasing. And then there's uncertainty surrounding the economy, right? We don't know what's going to happen with the economy. It's an election year. So we're predicting an interest rate cut in September 18th. It looks like that is going to happen. We don't know by how much they're going to cut it, but all indications at the moment are saying that that's probably what's going to happen when the Feds have their meeting September 18th. So that's definitely something you want to pay attention to. And then you have the presidential election, which that's always a rough one, right? People don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty. So we want to know what's going on. So if you are in the situation, what do you do? Well, like I just said, sales have gone down for the second part of the year so far. and incentives have increased, inventories, dealership have a ton of inventory, and inventory is definitely growing. And that kind of makes it better on a brand new car. And the reason I'm going to say on a brand new car, they're doing a lot of incentives on the new vehicles, and they're also offering really good rates. So even though interest rates are still relatively high, on brand new cars on certain models, they're starting to do really special APRs. Of course, with approved credit, this is always going to be based on approved credit. But if you fall in that category, on a brand new vehicle, you can get the incentives and a really low interest rate, which on a used car, you cannot. So it depends on what type of used car you're looking for. Are you looking for something fairly new? And if you are looking for something fairly new, then I would say compare it with a new car. Go to a dealership, work the numbers on a brand new car, and then compare it to a used car. That's the best thing to do. I know if you start going online, most people or most articles are going to say go straight to used. Why would you do that? I rather know, hey, for example, let's say the car you're getting is a Toyota Tacoma and you're looking for something that's 2 years old with 20,000 miles, right? That to me is fairly new. If you're looking for a car that's only 2 or 3 years old, compare it to a new one. Because remember, when you buy brand new, you have the full factory warranty. Sometimes they're like, for example, Toyota has Toyota Care that already comes with the vehicle. You get maintenance for 2 years or up to 25,000 miles, whatever comes first, but you got some maintenance covered. You got that full warranty. So you want to see the difference in price. Now, I know what some of you are saying, you're going to be paying cash. Well, if you're paying cash, then you're not financing, then you might want to go with the used car, because used car prices have come down and there are some good deals on used cars. But if you're financing, and again, you're looking for, you might want consider both. I would say go to the dealership, work the numbers on that brand new car, and then compare it and look to see if there's a savings and how much, because this is an opinion base, right? Some of you are going to agree with this, some of you are going to disagree. But if I'm looking at a brand new car, right, that's not even a year old, full factory warranty, all that, and the used car, I'm only saving $2,000, I would try to get the new car. Because if you're getting a 3-year car that's 2 to 3 years, most likely is almost out of warranty, right? If anything happens to the car, you have to come out of pocket for that, so you don't have that peace of mind. If you go and buy the extended warranty, those extended warranties, they're not economical, right? They're not cheap. Sometimes they're usually $1,000 or more. If maybe when you add that extended warranty onto that used car, it ends up being the same as a new car, because a lot of us just focus on the sale price. And there's a lot that goes into a sale price when you buy a car. If I'm looking at a used car, for example, let's say it's $20,000, and let's say that car brand new is 23. My mind automatically is going to say, oh, wow, I'm going to save $3,000. I'm going to go get that used car because I'm saving money. You're automatically going to think that. But out the door, what's that out the door number? Because if I go look at that used car, that's $3,000 cheaper. And we go, and let's say I'm financing, and I go into the finance room and I add the extended warranty, I add a maintenance plan, a lot. And there's people that do this, right? All those things cost money. Maybe by the time I get out the door, I'm paying $27,000 for the car with the taxes and the tag and everything that went into it, and a higher interest rate, because interest rates are higher on used cars than it is on new cars. Okay. And maybe on that brand new car that was $3,000 more up front, when I finance, since I don't need the warranty, since I didn't do any of those things, I might be at 27 as well, or the same, or maybe a little bit less. You don't know unless you. So I always say, if you're looking for something fairly new, go look at the brand new one, work the numbers on it, know exactly what I'm getting over here, and then go look at the used one to be 100% sure you're saving and weigh out the pro and cons. Remember, the new, you got the full warranty. The manufacturer may be providing a maintenance program on that vehicle. They might have really good incentives. If it ends up being one of the vehicles that they're having a hard time, selling, they're going to really be trying to get rid of it. So in that case, try for the new. Make sure like I'm actually saving going used, because believe it or not, I worked at a car dealership. I worked in car sales years back. And, it's been more than 7 years ago, but I saw often people will buy a used car. In their mind, they think they save money, and they actually ended up paying more for that used car than a new car. But The only way you can avoid that is going to what I'm suggesting. This is, you do what you want. This is just my recommendation. I would start off trying with a new car and then do a used car. I think that's a good tip. Hopefully you think so too. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, are things going to get better? I don't have a crystal ball, but I believe that going into 2025, things are going to get better, and for used cars, because if rates start to come down, if I find a good deal on a used car, and I did my research, I went and looked at the new one first. I noticed the new one's going to come out, let's say in this example, a little bit more. So I'm going with the used one, but rates have come down. That's going to help with the payment, because if on a brand new car, I can get a 4% interest rate or lower. And on the used cars right now, they're at a 6.5 or higher, and this is all going to depend on your credit. If you don't have great credit, the interest rate's going to be higher. If you have excellent credit, it would be in the lower end. So it's just going to depend on your credit. But if I'm looking at used car, if rates have come down, it's going to make used cars also be more affordable. Because right now, again, what's happening is you're going to get a way better deal on certain brand new cars with the interest rate than you are on used ones. Because not too long ago, Ford was doing 1.9 on F-150s, 2023 up to 72 months, and they were discounting them. You can't get a 1.9 used car. A used car, you're looking up above 6%. If you can get in the 6% or low sixes right now on a used car, that would be considered great. And that's, but in 2025, interest rates may be lower. I think that right now we're starting to get into that part of the year where you can start considering getting a car. Now, if you're thinking about used, if you can hold on, I would see 2025, because I believe, I could be wrong, that rates are going to continue to go down. I think on new cars, they're already doing the great rates. You don't have to worry as much. But on the used ones, there's room for rates to continue to go down and get better interest rates on pre-owned cars, and I think that will be for 2025. So if you have to get a car, if you're thinking about new, I think it's a good time to buy brand new cars, because the incentives are there and there's a lot of special APRs on brand new cars. If you're going used, then I think if you can wait it out, you're going to be in better situation. But things are transitioning to where it's going to become an opportunity for buyers. Again, of course, if they're in that situation, because the economy is slowing down. I know unemployments have been going up. So in a moment like this, there is a reason why people are buying less, right? People are scared. Am I going to lose my job? There's less job opportunities. So there's a lot of things going on right now, but there are people, believe it or not, that even with all that going on, they're in a safe place where they can go out and buy. And that's for those people, there is going to be a buying opportunity. And the more you can wait, I think the better the buying opportunities it's going to be. But I think we're already entering that phase. Now, that's just my opinion. Again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I wanted to share that with you. Now, what I'm going to go ahead and do, we're going to share the screen. I'm going to go on Auto Trader. There's other companies. Some of you already know them. Some of you may not be familiar. I like autotrader.com. I'm not sponsored by them. You can go ahead and use them and check them out. There's also cars.com. There's Car Gurus, and there's even more. So you definitely check out the different ones and see which one you like best. I'm just letting you know the one I enjoy going on. When I do go on it, and if you decide to check it out, I always like to go to advanced search, because it gives me more options. This is definitely useful if you want to narrow down your search. If you already know, like, hey, I want a Honda Odyssey, I want it from 2022 to 2024, and I'm open to use the new, you can check use new. You can put in those years. You put Honda Odyssey, you put your zip code where you live, how far you're willing to travel, and then you'll only be seeing Honda Odysseys within that year, new and used, and you can even put the price and everything. So you can really narrow it down. That way you're not just seeing a bunch of cars that are pointless to look at because you're not interested. Now, if you know you want to get a car, but for example, you don't really know what you want, you can leave it open, right? You don't have to put any make and model. You can just see everything in your area that's out there. You can look at the different deals and things like that. Now, in this case, since I'm not looking for anything particular, we are going to leave it open. So again, you put your zip code, put the miles, you can put whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it at 50. That's pretty good. I am going to put new. I'll put used. I'll put it all basically. Besides third party, not interested in that. But again, I'm going to specify anything here and more options. See, you got a ton of options now. I'm going to put fairly new cars. Now, if you're watching this and you're like, man, I'm not really interested in a fairly new car, I like older cars, that's fine. That's why you got the years. You select the year. Whatever works for you, whatever you like, you can go ahead and do on here. You don't have to put fairly new. That's just what I'm using. And you just have a ton of options. You can put keywords, like if it was a truck and you want it to be lifted, you type in lifted and it shows you lifted. Or if you want your car to have a sunroof, you can do that. Safety features you can click on. So you go right here, you click on it, opens up, you can pick a color. So you can make it really specific. If you really know everything you want, you know the color, the make, the model, what year, and all that, you can really make it very specific so you're not seeing a bunch of cars that you're not interested in. And again, if you're not, if you don't know all that and you're more open, you can leave it that way. Now, the main reason I'm going on Auto Trader, and I like to do this a lot if you see my other videos, is I like to show how a ton of car companies right now are just putting reduced. I actually looked at a car a couple months back that I was going to buy. I just inquired on it just because I was interested in it, but I wasn't like 100% that I was going to buy it. And I decided I'm not going to, but I inquired on it and I seen that car had 3 price drops, about $3,000, and the dealership, they call me all the time. They're still calling. They're still rich. Why? Because they're desperate, right? And that's what you want when you're buying a car. When they're selling, they're not going to be blowing up your phone. They're not going to be as desperate. Now, when they're not selling, inventory's growing, they're going to be like that, right? They're eager to get these cars off their books because they rather sell it to you than have to auction it. What's going to end up happening after it sits on the lot for a certain amount of time, they're going to eventually auction it and potentially not make any money on the car or even take a hit because it costs money to transport the car there, put it through auction, and most likely at auction, it's just going to be another dealership buying it. So they're not going to be giving you top dollar or anything, and you don't get the opportunity to make money. Dealerships make a lot of money when you finance a car, right? Because they get an opportunity to sell you gap, the extended warranty, all these things. Now, you don't have to take those things, right? Those are optional. And it's up to you. You got to decide. I don't take those things, but that's my decision. I know the risk, but I've done the math. For me, at least, I don't take those things, and I'm going to save money in the long run because I don't damage my wheels. If I do, it's once in a blue moon. I'll take the hit for that. So I don't get all those protections, but a lot of people do. If you see the benefit in them, take it. I know it's just to maximize the dealership's profit. I know they're just there to make money. I know without getting them, you're going to save money. That's my opinion, though. I could be wrong. Some of you that are watching may not like what I said because you might really believe in those extended warranties and things like that. But that's just my 2 cents on that. But let's go ahead. See right here. I just went on Auto Trader, left it open instantly. We're already seeing reduced price, reduced price, reduced price, reduced price, and reduced price. And you get tired of me saying it, but before you wouldn't see so many reduced prices because cars were moving, cars were selling, cars are just sitting on the lot. And if you can go ahead and click on, I'll click on this Porsche, for example. You can go down here, which is something I really like about Auto Trader. I don't know if the other ones have it, like cars.com and things like that, but I can see the vehicle pricing history. I can see when that car was listed. It started off at 62,000. Now this is maybe they made a mistake because the same day they changed the price, but I can see that, right? Oh, they had it here. Why did this happen, right? If I was interested in this car, I'd be right here. I'd be like, I'm not going to pay this because I see this. But look, they went here, then the next day, I don't know what was going on, but they had an issue here with pricing, but now they dropped. So I can see where it started at, if the price went up or down, when these changes happened, and now I see that today it's gone down. I can kind of get an idea how long the car's been there and everything. And the longer the car's been there, the more desperate they're going to be to sell it, and because they're going to want to get it off their book. So this is very, very good to know. Good information. Also, if you're looking at a used car, make sure you go ahead and check out, vehicle history report, Carfax, things like that. This one says no accident, one owner, and you can click here and open it up and get a lot of more information. It says well maintained, and it gives you the details. So you can see that actually was maintained. You can see how long the person owned it. So this person only owned the car for 3 months. You can see at what dealership they bought it at. You can see when it was serviced. It says the date it was serviced at the Porsche dealership. That's nice to know. It's a peace of mind. You say, hey, okay, this car was a one-owner car. It was bought locally. It was been serviced. You can see at the dealership where it got serviced and all that. So that's nice. And I'm saying locally because it's locally for me. But in your area, you can see if the car was local. You can see, you know, where the car came from. I live here in Florida, so if I'm buying a used car, I'd rather it be from Florida than come from somewhere that it snows and things like that. And I'm able to see those things by looking by the Carfax. Excuse me. Sorry about that. But yeah, these are some of the things I look at. Again, hopefully you found the video helpful. If you did, smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I really do appreciate you watching. And if you have any questions, leave me down in the leave the comments down below, and I'll try to answer them. If you are in the car market, let me know. Let me know what's going on. Let me know your experience, your opinions. I like to read the different comments and get a feel for everything. But I really appreciate everyone that watched the video, and I'll see you on the next one.